Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Brave Emily. Chapter 4, 45 times 10 equals 450. Whenever you multiply a number by 10, just put a 0 at the end of it, Emily explained to Molly as the two girls were walking along the sunny sidewalk to school on Friday morning. 2 times 10 is 20, or 20. 5 times 10 is 50, or 50. And it even works with double-digit numbers, Molly. 56 times 10 is 560, or 560. Molly slapped her forehead with her head. "That's so easy," she said. "Quite," said Emily. "Now the rule for 11 only works with single digits. When you multiply a number by 11, the answer is that number twice. 5 times 11 is 55, or 55. 8 times 11 is 88, or 88. Molly cut in. "That's really easy too." "Yep," said Emily. She thought she sounded very American after all. She had only been in America for nearly 2 weeks. "Emily," Molly said with a happy skip, "you are the best person I've ever known at math. You make multiplying easy." Emily beamed and skipped quite happily too. If only she could find a way to multiply the minutes she'd been practicing her flutophone, she thought, she'd be absolutely happy. Emily was a conscientious girl. Every day after school that week, she had doggedly hooted and tootled on her flutophone for as long as she could stand it. But unfortunately, she could never stand it longer than 15 minutes. Miss Campbell said that practice makes perfect, but didn't seem to make anything in Emily's case. She never seemed to get any better. Her only consolation was that it didn't seem to matter her too much. At school, with everyone honking away together, it seemed to Emily that it was impossible to tell who was playing well and who wasn't. So Emily was very surprised that afternoon when, during their flutophone lesson, Miss Campbell stopped everyone and said, "I think someone is out of tune with the rest of the class." "It's Emily from England," said Woody. "I'm next to her, I can tell." Emily couldn't breathe. She was so embarrassed. Then Howie made it worse by teasing Emily in front of anyone. "Hey, Miss Piper," he said. "I thought you were good at flutophoning." "She is," said Molly hotly. "Be quiet, Howie. You too, Woody." "Just ignore those silly old boys, Emily," Susan murmured. "Yes," said Linda. "They hardly know which end of their flutophones to blow into." Howie, who was always game for a laugh, turned his flutophone upside down and blew on the wrong end. Everyone giggled. Miss Campbell crossed her arms. "Excuse me, boys and girls," she said sharply. "I don't remember for giving permission to talk. Talking will not make our music sound better. Let's take it from the top again. All together now. Everyone begin." But Emily was too mortified to play. For the rest of the lesson, she held her flutophone to her lips, puffed out her cheeks, moved her fingers over the keys, and pretended. She went limp with relief when Mrs. Campbell finally dismissed the class. "I want all of you to promise me that you'll practice twice as long as usual over the weekend," Miss Campbell said as the children lined up to file out the door. "I want America the Beautiful to be beautiful by Monday." "Yes, Miss Campbell," Emily said along with the other children. She really meant it too. Emily was determined to practice more, even though she had to meant to face the music and feel how badly she played by Molly, Linda, and Susan when they practiced together over the weekend. But as it turned out, Molly, Linda, and Susan had tap dancing rehearsal all day Saturday, and on Sunday, Mrs. McIntyre and Emily went to the hospital to visit Aunt Primrose. So somehow or other, the four girls did not practice together over the weekend. Emily practiced alone as usual, with only Brad to hear how badly she played. And on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, she practiced alone after school. Every morning, when Emily looked at her practice hour before she took it to Miss Guilford's design, she was sorry but not surprised to see that despite her good intention, the amount of time she practiced her flutophone was 15 skinny minutes. Thursday was a rainy day, so after lunch, the the class had indoor recess in the gymnasium. Molly, Linda, and Susan demonstrated for Emily the tap dancing they were rehearsing at Miss Lavanda's. They hummed the music and tapped and twirled and hung and whirled along with their humming. When they finished their dance, Emily clapped hard. "It's even better when we have our tap shoes on," said Susan breathlessly, "and we have our cymbals and triangle and tambourine to play." "I think your dance is very good indeed," Emily said. "I think it's very short indeed," Linda said crankily. "If the audience blinks, they'll miss it altogether." "Well, look at the bright side," said Susan. "Since our part of the show was so short, we've had lots and lots of time to practice our flutophones during rehearsal." "Lots and lots of time?" Emily asked. "Yep," said Molly. "It's a good thing we've had Miss Lavanda's assistant sign our practice card for us. Miss Campbell told me that she's going to check our cards to see how much we practice." Emily tried to sound calm. "How much have you been practicing?" she asked the girls. "Oh, hours." "Every day," said Linda. "Hours?" asked Emily in a quavery voice. Molly, Linda, and Susan all nodded. "Sure," they said breezily. Then they went back to tap dancing, their feet making a nice, satisfactory pounding sound on the wooden gymnasium floor. Emily's heart was pounding too. Oh dear, she thought. "They've been practicing for hours, and I'm sure everyone else in class has too. Everyone except me. When Molly finds out that I've only practiced for 15 minutes a day, she'll realize Woody was right. I'm terrible at the flutophone. I've been tricking her. She certainly won't want to brag that I'm her friend then. Oh, what should I do?" When the dancers' backs were turned, Emily snipped out of the gymnasium. She slithered like a snake through the winding hallways and into Miss Campbell's room. It was shadowy inside the classroom, and which was so eerily empty and quiet that it felt spooky. With shaking hands, Emily took changed all the ones to fours, and it looked like she'd been practicing not 15 but 45 minutes a day for the last 10 days. Just as the rest of the class came in, Emily slid her card into her desk. "Emily, you disappeared from the gymnasium. How come?" "I came back early," said Emily unsteadily, "to do some math." "Yikes, when you didn't have to?" Molly said with a grin. "You do like numbers, don't you?" Emily grinned back a watery grin. She seemed to hear her own voice telling Molly days ago that she liked numbers because they never lied. And now she made the numbers on her practice card do just that. "Pass your practice cards forward, please, boys and girls," Miss Campbell was saying. "I will look at them while you do pages 89 and 90 in your math workbooks. Quiet, please." Emily's heart was thudding so loudly that she thought Miss Campbell must have been speaking to her specifically when she asked for quiet. The workbook pages were a blur, and Emily, who breezed through math clouds, was so distracted by the words she was only halfway done when Miss Campbell said, "Close your workbooks, boys and girls. Any problems you haven't finished must be done for homework." The students put their workbooks away, and Miss Campbell wrote on the board, 45 times 10 equals ? "Who can do this multiplication for me?" Miss Campbell asked. 450, Molly hollered out before anyone else raised their hand. "My goodness, Molly," said Miss Campbell, pleased. "It's clear to see you've been studying your multiplication tables." "Emily's been helping me," said Molly, beaming with her pride of herself and her Emily. "Has she?" said Miss Campbell. "We are lucky to have Emily in our class." Miss Campbell gave Emily one of her friendly winks. Then she said, "Boys and girls, I am proud to announce that one of the students in our class has practiced more than anyone else. This student practiced 45 minutes a day for the last 10 days, or 450 minutes, everyone shouted at the same time. "Correct," Miss Campbell said. "Who did it?" said Linda. Miss Campbell smiled a special smile. "Emily," she said simply. "Hooray!" cheered all the students. "Yay!" "And Emily was good to begin with," Molly boasted. Emily went rigid. How on earth did this happen, she wondered. Then the signaling flash she understood. Linda had only been kidding when she said that she, Molly, and Susan had prayed for hours. Once again, Emily had misunderstood an American exaggeration. Just when Emily thought things could not get worse, Miss Campbell went on. I have a wonderful surprise, Miss Campbell said. On Saturday evening, our class is going to present a program for the rest of the school at the PTA. You will play America the Beautiful on your flutophones. And because she practiced most, who do you think will play a solo? Emily! Everyone proclaimed. Yes, said Miss Campbell. She started to clap for Emily, and all the students joined in clapping, and cheering and stamping their feet. This was the worst moment of Emily's life so far. Oh no, please, she gasped, hot and pink in the face. I can't do it. Truly, I can't. But everyone was clapping so hard, nobody heard Emily but Susan. Good old Emily, Susan said to her fondly, trying not to be a show-off again, as usual. With all her heart, Emily wished she were back on the ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. German torpedoes were nowhere near as terrible as the trap she had gotten herself into. She would humiliate herself by playing badly, and then everyone, the whole school and the PTA, would know she was a fake and a fraud, and Emily swallowed, and a liar. Now no one would ever want to be her friend. Oh, thought Emily hopelessly, what can I do? Emily was far too unhappy to sleep that night. She didn't want Molly to hear her crying, so she slid under her pillow, gathering Grandy's dog tags in her hand. And tiptoed down the stairs and outside. And Emily flew across the driveway to the garage and ran up the stairs to the living room above. She sat on the floor and wept. Hey, someone whispered. Emily turned. It was Molly. Emily swiped her cheeks with her hands, but Molly had already seen her tears. I thought you might be cold and need this, Molly said. She sat down, draped Emily's bathrobe over her shoulders, and then led her arm around Emily. What's the matter? Molly asked. Are you homesick? Emily shook her head. It's worse than that, she said. What? Asked Molly. I lied, said Emily. Oh, said Molly softly. Miserably, Emily poured out the whole story. I can't play the flutophone, she said. I never could. I hated practice so much that I only practiced 15 minutes a day. And today you and Linda told me that you've been practicing for hours every day. We were just kidding, said Molly. That was just an exaggeration. But I believed you, said Emily. I guess I'm not used to the way Americans joke and exaggerate. Anyway, I was so ashamed I changed all the ones on my practice cards to 4, so it looks like I practice 45 minutes a day instead of the 15. I didn't know that would be to make it look as if I pressed more than anyone in the class. Whoosh, exhaled Molly. You changed the 1s to 4s? That was a pretty daring thing to do. Daring? Repeated Emily. No, not daring. Just desperate and stupid. I was afraid that if you found out I wasn't good at the flutophone, you'd be disappointed in me, just like Grandy's disappointed that I'm not brave and I'm not helping England. I pretended to be good at the flutophone, just like I pretend to be brave. I've been a fake about everything. I even pretend to like oatmeal. And now I'm a liar, which is worse than a fake. I don't blame you if you don't want to be my friend anymore. Oh, Emily, said Molly. What you did was wrong, but friends don't stop being friends just because one of them makes a mistake. Anyway, it's my fault if I made it seem like I only liked you because you were good at the flutophone. That's not true at all. I liked you for a million reasons, but mostly because I like you because you're you. You're Emily. You're my friend. Emily looked at Molly and almost smiled. Molly stood up. Come on, she said to Emily. Let's get back to the house. We need to come up with a plan. It's too cold to walk in here. A plan? Asked Emily as she and Molly went downstairs. Well, sure, said Molly. A plan for how Linda, Susan, and I can help you do your solo on Saturday. You're going to help me? Asked Emily as they crossed the driveway. Well, sure, Molly said again. That's what friends are for. Now, Emily really did smile, though it was too dark for Molly to see. When the girls were back in bed, Emily put Grandy's dog tags under her pillow again. Molly, she said, thank you for being my friend. I like you very much indeed. I never pretend about that. Oh, Molly teased gently. You mean I'm not like oatmeal? No, said Emily. Maybe we can ask the Red Cross to send oatmeal to England too, joked Molly, along with all the smelly turnips. And hot cross buns, added Emily. Molly sat up in bed. Emily, she thought, that's it. I've thought of a way. A way to what? To help you with your solo. Oh, and a way to help you can help England at the same time. You're going to be very, very brave. Whatever it is, I'll do it, said Emily. Absolutely. The next morning, Molly and Emily presented Molly's plan to Linda and Susan, who liked it very much. And all four girls stayed after school to talk to Mrs. Miss Campbell. I'm very sorry that I lied about how much I practiced, Miss Campbell. Emily said after she told the whole story. Wow, said Miss Campbell. I'm sorry too. Promise me that starting now you'll practice an extra 30 minutes a day for 10 days as to make out the false numbers on your card true. Meanwhile, I can't think of any worse punishment than having to play your flutophone in front of a crowd without having practiced enough. The show is tomorrow evening and the programs have been printed. So I'm afraid you'll have to play your America the Beautiful solo, Emily. Yes, Miss Campbell, said Emily. Miss Campbell asked Molly, is it okay if Linda and Susan and I are right behind Emily while she plays? Miss Campbell tilted her head. You mean, she said, give her a background so she can be camouflaged? Yeah, I guess so. Thanks, Miss Campbell, said the girls. Don't worry, Miss Campbell, said Molly. You're going to be great. Emily, Molly, Linda, and Susan worked very, very hard Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and all day Saturday until dinner. They practiced so much that by Saturday evening that it was the most time for show, Emily could play America the Beautiful without making too many mistakes. She was awfully glad, though, when the class gathered on stage and that her friends Linda, Susan, and Molly were right behind her. Emily, Susan whispered, Miss Campbell said you camouflage, but you look pretty in that green dress Mrs. Guilford made for you, and everyone's going to see and love you. Emily smiled bravely. Thank you, she said. The curtain went up and Miss Campbell announced the third grade. The whole class played America the Beautiful together first, then Emily stepped forward. With everyone in the auditorium watching and listening, Emily played America the Beautiful all by herself on the flutophone. But behind her, Molly, Linda, and Susan swirled and twirled using steps they knew from their tap dancing. Molly played the tambourine, Linda played the triangle, and Susan played the cymbals, crashing them nice and loud over the hard parts to hide Emily's mistakes. When the song was over, the audience clapped and cheered. Woody and Howie rushed forward and thumped Emily on the back and waved their flutophones in the air. Now Emily did the bravest thing she had ever done in her life. She held up hands for quiet. When everyone settled down, she said, My name is Emily Bennett. I'm from England, and my parents are still there. My friends and I would like to ask you all to help England by donating cans of food for the Red Cross. The Red Cross will send the food to England. Thank you. Then Emily played her flutophone while Molly, Linda, and Susan played their tambourine, triangle, cymbals, tap dance, and sang. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. So lend a hand and send a can across. Afterward, everyone agreed that Emily's speech and the song about the cans were the best part of the whole show. But for Emily, the best part came after the show, when she and Molly, exhausted and exhilarated, were surrounded by people promising to bring cans to the cross the very next day. My goodness, Emily overheard a lady say to Molly, that little English girl spoke of right for England, didn't she? Oh yes, Emily heard Molly say, my friend Emily is very brave. And that is the end of the book. Thanks for listening. See you later.